3-6, you're gonna get absolutely bopped. And then after that, like, you're playing in the Nautilus, like they're not winning. That's just the reality of it. Eventually this death blow is going to hit critical mass. You're not going to be able to chew through the front line. You're not going to be able to chew through either this Sejuani or this Nautilus. Hell, you might not even get through the fella the Aatrox. We've all seen that he is just as tanky as good old Aatrox.
Position. This is where Pro rises up. Let's get into game number 1.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Alright, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the rift for game number 1 between Hummerlife Esports and now taking a lot of damage. Samba pushing him away from this one. There's a flash, does get the E off, but control ward goes down. Depth charge is going to be used, and the fire kick comes out, and Samba's going to be able to grab first blood. Oh. Viper comes in, will find a snare, and there is Peanut. Does manage to get the ulti out of Polo. That's high value for Hummerlife, but nice little ward.
Go for it.
Yeah, Peanut going to be taking the grubs. Picking up the rest of them here. He's already collected one for himself, but there's his second, and now he's going to get engaged on here by this Lee Sin. Mini stun into the wall there with the kick as Dawning Shadow. He's going to look to turn the health bars around. Zeka holds onto the shockwave as now Morgan goes all out, but Doran, he just flashes the wall. Oh, the perfect execution, not quite enough to execute the Aatrox. And Karis finds himself on the wrong side of the rift. 5-point strike not going to work out. The Winter's Wrath connects, and the clockwork has been wound up. Meanwhile, Viper is burning down. But here is Delight, and he's the one with all of the money. Misses a dredge line, and that's going to say, helping Hummerlife Esports out quite a bit. And they're trying not to get collapsed on as the Akali's looking for an opportunity. In comes Gideon, but he's not able to find the kick flash opportunity there as Zeka gets into the brush. Karis diving on top of him. Dawning Shadow trying to help out, and Zeka is going to be cornered, but now Doran makes his way in. The depth charge is massive. And now Morgan is trying to Cassante them, but the Aatrox is in melee range, and that means you are not winning the team fight. Samba and Polu just trying to run away as best they can. Oh, no. And Doran is gonna cut them off. The hook is gonna land, the fire kick is gonna be there. And now Doran, with all of his lethality, should be able to find another auto, but he will die. So there is that.
Samba gold lead now. Is Dragon gonna go over as well? 2 Drake lead.
As the rest of Bro looking to try and consolidate. Zeka's the one piloting the Rift Herald this time around as the hook is going to be mitigated here. Is Morgan actually going in? Not sure about that one. He's taking a lot of damage. Gets knocked up as well as Karis looks for the back line. And Doran is just running amok. He will be taken out here. And there is the kick finally utilized. Zeka is going to break his arm guard, but will he still fall down? The shockwave is gigantic! And there goes Karis as well! He manages to turn it on a dime in the air.
Straight up front to back, you should always come out on top. Did see though there somewhere topping the damage charts. That's our challenger boy, Atlas.
Absolutely nailing it here. And we need to look for the bot. Is live. Samba taking a bit of damage there, but should be alright. Good knock up there from Doran, but Safeguard gets Gideon out to safety. And now ulti flies to Narnia here, but I don't think that's really going to matter. He's been unable to walk away from Doran. Karis gets into the backline, but it's Delight sort of going in by himself with Viper behind him. And now Morgan, he's tanky, but he's not that tanky. The rest of Pro are going to be running for the hills. And
keep away the rest of Breon.
Yeah.
Because, well, it's Farm Nautilus, and he's not dying. Fights is always a pleasure to watch. Not without its fault. We saw the early laning, the laning oopsie. And if you're wondering why we're not talking about what's happening in the game, because I think from this point on, you were right, Atlas. I think we're looking at next game.
It is a little...
And Viper's nowhere near him.
God, this is so linear. It's when you see a linear goal graph that you know... I don't mess it up in Korean, which is weird. I only mess it up in English.
Really?
Yeah. And have my whole life.
It's been getting better, right? You've been putting a lot of work into that.
It's not great. I had a fun joke about triangles that I was going to say, but it's over. Bro, you're going to have to watch their inner turret fall down. And with Baron, with double buffs, with everything, it looks like Hummerlife Esports are just looking to break open the base, try and finish them off here in game number 1. Karis on a decent flank angle as Samba gets over the wall. Doran taking a little bit here as the culling is going to be utilized as well. Delight almost takes a damage.
Like, I'm a big Leandris enjoyer, but if you go with Leandris on Akali, don't pick Akali!
That's not quite it as, oh dear, there goes the Cassante. And they tried to get the ulti off as Doran's flashing in after his humble dash. Samba still has to be respected though. That was a lot of damage. The Q lands from Gideon, and he's Samba and Polo, not really the problem. And I think there are a few hiccups when it comes to drafting and things like that in this particular game. As good mitigation of the dredge line there by Morgan. It's not going to stop their inhibitor from going down, but at least they have the top lane inhibitor, Chronicler. That's what they have.
Might not have a Nexus though.
Yeah, no, that is the biggest problem. But I'm still going to say, at least they had a top lane inhibitor. Siege is now on. They throw out the ulti here from Polu, not necessarily give them a lot of value, as Samba is also going to be the only one. Shockwave. Depth charge coming in as well, and bro, they're still alive. A lot of cooldowns have been taken down, but does Doran care? Looks like he doesn't at all. Dredgeline's coming in, and the Bash Bros of Delight and Doran are just moving forward like a freight train and hurting about as much. The culling not really doing too much at all, and this team is too tanky.
They're taking no damage!
It's ridiculous! Isn't there a turret there? It's supposed to be hurting them! In goes Gideon, but he's mitigated instantly by a fantastic Arctic Assault, and now it's Karras' turn to dive into that backline. He's in a shroud, but he's still taking a lot of damage. Oh! They can kill the Nautilus! He does go down, and Karras looks for an opportunity once again. Peanut says nope, and just bonks him with his skull, and that is going to be the end of the game. Nexus falls down, Humble Life Esports. Very comfortably.
Championship? He did. That's Camille.
Oh, I love that.
We're doing it. And Doran has been on the Camille hype train after the buffs as well.
It provides another great follow-up so that it's not just Akali and Sejuani going in alone. It allows you to reliably lock down the carries on the enemy team and actually give a lot more threat to the Akali, because if you're caught in the hexagonal domain, you can't do anything. And your 2v2 is
Super massive black hole, stuff like that. Let's go to the rift.
시간사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right. Here we are. Let's see whether the Camille's going to work out. First time that we've seen her so far.
Reward here as Peanut is going to lie in wait. Oh no. And it's a bit of a mounted battle, a joust, if you will, as Zekka is going to move into the river. If he gets this kill, this could be just lights out, as the Crashdown not going to do anything at all. Into the Shroud now as the flash does come through. Zekka's in trouble though, as he's going to have to walk this one out. Finds a backflip. There's the flash. As now Samba gets over the wall, finds that hail of arrows, and once again picks up first blood. I don't know how that worked out there for Peanut, as he's now limping out with about 2 health. And Arctic Assault's going to get him to safety, but the damage has been done. And first blood once again is going to take himself a Void Bub and take a lot of damage for it as well. But he's going to stay on it, knows that the Drake has just been taken, so he's not under any threat. Now head back towards the lane.
Oh yeah, that could have been an opportunity for Morgan to try and build some parity, because he is pretty substantially
taking this outer turret on the top side of the map, and that is a lot of punishment for just being jump scared at your Grump.
And this really,
Humble Life Esports, they know as well.
they're getting this dragon.
Hextech Ultimatum does come down here, as Morgan does have to flash.
Wait.
Does get himself out of immediate danger, but Zekka makes his way in, and that is going to be a kill. So, my wishes have been denied entirely as Doran gets himself out. The turret does a fair bit of work, but not too much, as Samba trying to hold down the fort here. Finds the Chains of Corruption onto the center. Takes a lot of damage, but Delight has the Devour, so they're not going to suffer a death. So 1-1 now. Humble Life Esports will even out the kills, but Karras is going to be able to take the first turret for the Bros.
And it's not that bad a trade for Brian. Obviously,
They just may not be able to kill anyone, because they're just so incredibly tanky.
he just stands.
He does, and then immediately flash out of it in order to survive. That is a lot of big cooldowns that they now have in their back pocket, as Gideon and Morgan. I don't know about this one. As, all right, the ulti is going to be avoided. Now Polu comes in, Samba making his way through, and that hook was amazing. TP! To Viper, who gets pulled back, the teleports in from Karras, who's now able to do a whole bunch of work. Oh! 3-man shockwave! And Zekka, can he be enough? The answer is no. They've taken too much. He wants to press that button. They managed to get themselves
Keep him safe.
a red buff. Peanut, I mean, it's not about whether this Drake does go over, although it would be nice if they're able to pick it up, as Polu goes down to 53 for about forever, but they still manage to lock it down. Doran is also absolutely dead, and now Morgan is just going to stand still. That was almost comical. He was like, I have the reset. Oh dear. how much vision is available here as Morgan moving in. Doran goes for the engage. Peanut around from the side, finds Gideon on the angle. There's a big shield, but still they go down. Sanford's taken out of the fight though, and now Zeka is popping off. He manages to avoid the dredge line as well, as he's just wrecking the back line. Morgan's trying to do the same thing, but Viper is keeping it at arm's length. And Peanut, he might actually fall. Never mind. Able to. What would it mean? Well, Morgan is going to have to umbral dash over the wall. That's not going to be enough to get him out of this Hextech ultimatum, though, as Peanut just trying to keep him CC'd. And Zeka makes sure that they are going to win out on the fight. Doran gets on over, as Morgan's still able to dash away. Delight's here, though, and everyone is going to turn up to make sure that the Aatrox dies. Polo now has to flash away. And Humble Life Esports now with a 5 versus 4 situation. Mike dives on top of him here. If he can keep him busy, then there's an opportunity here for Humble Life Esports. Gideon now going to get snared. Shattering strike onto Peanut. And Morgan tries to get in there, but he's going to get turned to ice immediately. And Zeka just executes Samba on the back line. Gideon is going to get permafrosted as well. Look at these health bars. 5-point strike from Zeka is going to finish off the Nautilus. And Morgan, he's not in this fight anymore either. Gideon has to run away, but I don't know whether he's going to be able to, because Delight's there and he is much bigger than a lot of our other Tahm Kench's have been, and that is the ace for Humble Life Esports, but such a better go of it for Bro in this game, right, Chronicler?
Oh, that might sting.
Team. And Zeka lying in wait. Troll goes down, they spot him on the flank.
Baron's pretty slow.
Yeah, as there's a flash from Polo, but still he's going to get hooked up. And into the backline goes Doran. Samba in a lot of trouble, but the GA is going to be popped, and then another backflip lands from Zeka. He cannot miss on this champion. That's why he has a skin for it, I guess. Morgan now trying to pop off, but the CC is too high. It's the permafrost and the triple kill from downtown as Zeka puts the last nail in it. Humble Life Esports, it will be another 2-0 for them here in the LCK, but Bro in game 2, he made them work for it.
And that's more than we could have expected coming into the day, Atlas. It might not be enough, but it looks like new life has been breathed into this Breon roster. But
at least a new bot lane, that's all I'm saying. I look at Samba and Polo and I'm thinking, there's something to work with now. There's something to work with for Bro. Not this game, not this series. This one's over. The Nexus is going to be taken down immediately after Humble Life Esports